Hello and welcome to A Star to Steer Her By, a sensual Star Trek podcast.
Ooh.
I don't know, you told me to say sensual.
Do the whispering.
I said, you are listening to the sensuous sounds of A Star to Steer Her By.
Hello and welcome. You are listening to the sensuous sounds of A Star to Steer Her By.
What's the thing? I don't know how to do the Asmar thing. That's not Asmar. That sounds horrible.
Don't you find this relaxing?
Here's my Asmar video.
I hope we ruined your...
Asmar!
Poor Chris. Chris has to listen to this later while he edits it.
Let's get some...
Chris, take a note.
Does anyone have a chalkboard I could scrape my hand down?
Oh, God. That and, like, squeaky styrofoam, both of those things make me want to die. So let's not. So, where was I? Welcome.
You're looking. I'm feeling a little thirsty here, and you're looking like a beverage. Let me get a straw.
Oh no!
Somebody answer that goddamn phone!
No.
Dana's more like my grandpa than I thought.
Hot?
Yay! All right, moving swiftly on. We are here on A Star to Steer Her By, episode 131.
Woo!
Ow! And tonight we're going to talk about Gambit, parts 1 and 2, and Phantasms. But first, my name is Caitlin.
My name is Jake.
This is Chris.
And this is Ames.
All right.
All right.
Your name is Matthew McConaughey, apparently.
What is it? What's Owen Wilson say? Wow. Does he say wow?
I think so.
Wow.
I love Owen Wilson secretly in my secret heart.
I don't mind him.
I love him. I just love his little face.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a fucking admission here.
Oh man.
You know what movie I really like?
Shanghai Nights.
Meet the Parents.
It's supposed to be good. I've never seen it.
You gotta milk me, fucker? I got nipples.
It doesn't seem like a you kind of movie.
I know, but I think that movie's hilarious.
I actually quite enjoy it.
I do love Robert De Niro. He is pretty great.
I think that movie's so phenomenal. I mean, it's I think that's a great comedy.
Weird.
Yeah, I know. That's my guilty pleasure.
Real talk
I haven't seen it probably since it was in the theater, but I remember I saw it multiple times.
I mean, it got 2 sequels, so at the very least, the first one
2?
probably
Yeah, the Fockers and
I don't remember.
Meet some more parents.
But either way, the first one at least was probably actually good.
Hmm.
The sequels are probably trash. Most comedy sequels are bad.
I think Meet the Fockers is supposed to be good. They had like pretty good actors playing.
Wasn't it Dustin Hoffman?
Yeah, it was like Dustin Hoffman and like Barbara Streisand or something. I don't think that's true, but it was.
No, I think it might have been Streisand.
Was it Streisand?
Actually.
Good for me. All right.
Anyway, that's not what we're here for.
Yeah, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this episode of Star Trek that I think I barely understood, but Chris assures me that I understood it. So
we'll see how right
Just
either
blast
of you is.
through it. Just
All
give
right.
it a real
Gambit. So
double
Gambit,
fist.
we're gonna double fist it. So basically, if I have this right, there are some space pirates. They're going around to like archaeological Vulcan sites and they're stealing artifacts. And they're looking for some specific artifacts. Picard is like, well, that shit ain't cool. So he goes down of his own reconnaissance? Recognizance, thank you. His own reconnaissance. That too, though.
His own renaissance.
His own renaissance.
And
his own recognizance. Right? And Jesus Christ. He makes the fucking decision on his own without orders from Starfleet that he's going to go and see what's up. And he is abducted by the space pirates, but they have this transporter thing that makes it sort of look like he is disintegrated and shit. So Riker and company are like, we haven't heard from the captain in a while. So he and Troy and Blazin' Bev go down to Chinatown and try to talk to some... I don't know.
And they went to the Mos Eisley cantina.
Yeah, they went to that cantina. I think Okono was there.
Yeah, Worf shot first.
Yep. Both at once, or...
You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
He's mole machine now. No, wait.
I have the high ground.
Anyway.
These aren't the aliens you're looking for.
Anyway,
so they're trying to chum up to some of the aliens in the most definitely not Isley Cantina. And everybody's like, we can't talk about her or we'll die and shit. And it eventually comes out that, like, they're like, oh yeah, we saw your bald, pated friend, but he's, like, you know, dead and shit.
Whoops.
And everybody's like, well, fuck. And it turns out he's not, in fact, dead. And he's actually been on board the SS...
Did it have a name?
Pirate...
Just the mercenary.
Mercenary Bay. Stealing songs from Napster. And helping them identify artifacts. Because as we know, when he's not busy, you know, blowing his flute and otherwise being kind of boring, he really likes archaeology. So he convinces the pirates that he's actually himself like a little grave robber who, you know, likes to look at artifacts. And they pick up Riker. I'm not really sure how, but...
During a raid.
Oh, okay. And...
Where did they keep him?
And Picard almost immediately starts, he's like, all right, I'm going to treat you like you're my little bitch because...
That's always what I've always wanted.
What's his name? Berman?
Yeah.
Berman,
who sang The Reflex and Hungry Like the Worf.
That's great.
Thank you. I'll be here for another hour or so. Anyway, he's like, Baran.
Actus Baran.
Yeah, he doesn't like me, so if I beat up on you and you talk shit about me, he'll probably take a shine to you, and that we can use that to our advantage. Riker's like, sweet, and almost immediately Picard backhands him like a little bitch, and Riker looks at him like, Daddy? And Baran's like,
My number
yes,
one dad.
You're a little bitch. I like the cut of your jib. It turns out that the reason why they're looking for specific artifacts is because there's some, like, one of the crew members is a Vulcan... quotes, who's looking for some Vulcan technology, and turns out,
well, she's posing as a Romulan.
Oh, I thought she was posing as a Vulcan.
No, she's a Vulcan posing as a Romulan.
It was always unclear to me what the fuck
I thought
the
she
deal
was
was.
a Romulan.
Once Caitlin's done with the summary, I will give the accurate summary.
Yeah, she's posing as a Romulan.
Oh, so then what? But then...
And then she's pretending she's part of Vulcan security, but she's actually part of the Separatists.
Yeah, the Vulcan isolation.
She's a maniacal, evil person.
Well, yeah, I know she's evil because she wants to get this fucking crazy-ass weapon.
She really wants to fuck Spock again.
And they
that's the question. Is it actually Savick? Or is it...
No, it's most certainly not.
Well, because conceivably, we know Vulcans live for fucking ever.
Alright, wait, we haven't got there yet. We can debate that later. The point is, she gets super space weapon and it kills you with, like, hate, but if you think only happy thoughts, you can fly and also not be killed by this weapon.
And it kills you with Odo.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's it. That's the end.
So what was Worf thinking of to not have his brain melt?
Killing Alexander.
Yeah, I was just going to say, killing Alexander.
There are no... Because it's not just happy thoughts, it's violent thoughts.
Yeah.
Worf doesn't have non-violent thoughts.
No, I know. It's like...
You know, even when he's thinking of love, it's, love, I break your hand because I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
his version of love is biting somebody.
Yeah.
So
yeah, this was a very, very, very convoluted episode.
So here's the thing. I really enjoyed the episode.
You would.
I hated the fact that you can beat it. Why am I doing a bad Obi-Wan Kenobi?
You know why.
Because Jake was
Because I started it.
Let me do a proper Patrick
like
Stewart
New
impression.
Yorker.
I'm gonna make you an offer.
You mean like Baran?
Yeah. I know. That's true.
All I could think was like, from what was it? Christopher Eccleston's first appearance in Doctor Who. Lots of planets have a north. He should have been like, lots of planets have a New York. What? But, Jesus, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So I liked the episode. I am sorely disappointed that the whole, thing was it can be defeated with peace. Aside from that, I really liked it.
It reminded me of that two-parter in Punky Brewster back in the day, The Perils of Punky, where they have to defeat the evil spirit by, thinking about love and happy things.
Never seen it, so...
You haven't, dude?
Or
you have not been traumatized by the gigantic spider?
Or if I have, I do not remember it.
Punky Brewster was a girl show, so...
Dude, go fuck yourself.
I always didn't watch that.
I should say, I definitely watched the show, but I don't remember that episode, I should say. And I feel like I'd remember the episode if I'd seen it.
Dude, it's really good. You should see it. It holds up. That show actually holds up pretty well. But that's not what we're here to talk about.
Blossom, on the other hand, doesn't hold up.
Oh, well, mostly because what's-her-fucking-ass is a fucking anti-vax dipshit.
Who?
Blossom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
well, she's obscure and doesn't
She's
count.
not, dude. She plays Amy Farrah Fowler on fucking
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory.
What's that? I know what Big Bang. Is she a main
She's
character?
yeah, she's
That's
Sheldon's
Blossom?
girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's been on the show since like season 3. Well, we owned. Remember, we used to own some seasons.
Yes.
I think it's season 3. She shows up at the end, and then like they're on season
she's
37
like a
now.
main
It's their
character.
final season, I hear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
it's
like
finally
Sheldon's girlfriend.
Isn't
She's
it
in
supposed to be
every
a show about like
episode.
science and shit? And
Yeah,
she's
in theory.
a.
Can we
an
talk about
anti-vaxxer?
Star Trek?
Yeah.
we have to?
Yes. This actually.
So this is Chris's favorite episode.
I wouldn't say that, but I did like
No,
it.
that's Times Arrow.
Okay, I'm
names.
going to be honest with you. This is an episode that I was really dreading because I always remembered it as being really bad. There's a string of bad two-parters.
Most of their
All
two-parters
of
are
them?
bad.
Yeah.
But this one, and I don't know if it's just because my expectations were so low,
It's probably that.
I actually liked it a lot more than I expected.
I'll say this: as a two-parter, it's actually pretty complete,
Yeah, the pacing.
which is interesting.
Yeah,
Because
the first
fine.
I don't think we've seen one that's felt like this arc actually works across both episodes in
Yeah.
this way.
Yeah.
What I would say, however, like the flip of that coin is, I don't think this is fucking Star Trek.
Well, no, what it was, and this is, okay, so I know everyone is super fucking jazzed about the Picard show.
Yes,
But,
agreed.
But based on some of the news that's come out about it, particularly like the casting
This
calls,
is what it's going to look like.
that the casting calls are for smuggler and rogues. I'm very worried that this episode is the template for the new Picard series.
I was kind of thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I know that this was directed by Frakes, I believe.
If it was, I didn't write it down.
I thought it was directed. It may
I'll
or may
check.
not have been directed by Frakes. I
I
thought
don't
it was.
Actually, no, you know what? I was looking up something else about
Yeah.
it. It had
I
each
know-
episode had a different director, but neither was Frakes.
Okay,
Okay.
never
I
mind.
know
You might
next-
be thinking Stewart directed
Yeah,
Phantasms.
Stuart
Oh.
directed for the next one that we're covering this
Okay,
episode.
maybe
Which I
that
thought
sounds
was
good.
better than
But
Gambit,
either way,
but we'll get there.
Either way, I
Ooh.
know. I think that.
Ooh.
Okay, shut up.
Wow.
Well, she's just saying "ooh" a bunch of times. I don't know what to
Yeah, instead of
me.
what? Saying
Excuse
fisting
me.
a lot?
Excuse me. Ooh.
I'll go ooh yourself. All right. Anyway.
Can I finish? Yikes. What is happening?
Ooh, okay.
Look how
Yeah.
pleased with yourself you were.
But this, I think I actually think this is the kind of shit that Patrick Stewart likes doing, where he gets to play
I was gonna say
a
in the
swashbuckler kind of.
Yeah, in
sort
the-
of tough
Let it
guy.
be a Dixon Hill show, anything but that.
in the new Picard series, I know that Patrick Stewart himself is very jazzed, and it makes me feel more comfortable saying, oh well, if Patrick Stewart, who's very very particular about what he wants to do now, likes it, then maybe it'll be good.
But
if
that's
it's-
not the thing. This is because and
now I'm afraid.
you'll see
You've made me afraid.
and you'll see when we get to the Star
I'm
Trek
gonna have to
movies.
quit this podcast.
When we get to the Star Trek movies, they make a big change in Picard's character.
Well, it's because it's a movie.
Well, yes, but reportedly, and again, this is all rumor mill shit, so take it with a grain of salt. But reportedly, Patrick Stewart had a lot of influence in trying to get more action scenes for Picard.
At the very least, I'm pretty sure it's actually not just rumor mill, but fact that half the reason there's
Fact
a dune buggy chase in one of the movies is because Stewart had gotten into dune buggying or something at the time.
So, I mean, I admire Patrick Stewart, but I also think just because he's has that English accent, he's not necessarily gonna want to do the Shakespearean shit.
That's right. His favorite Picard is not the fandom's favorite Picard.
Yes, and that's and this episode is one where I'm just like, ooh.
Can't they just be Picard on the Great British Bake Off? I would watch
Ooh,
that.
I would watch the fuck out of that, dude.
He's just standing there shouting at a box thinking it's a replicator. It's like, no, Sir Patrick, you have to do it yourself. What?
But yeah, so you're right. And in terms of being Star Trek or not, I think the B plot, the stuff, and it's all one plot really. There's not really a B plot, but I'll say the stuff that happens on the ship, on the Enterprise, is more Star Trek. I mean, it's more like doing a mystery, a Star Trek mystery.
Yeah.
Data was in charge, and he was fantastic.
He was.
That's true.
Captain
He was
Data
really
was-
good.
Data is probably my favorite captain. Right? Oh no, second favorite after Spot.
Data definitely, and he gave Worf the business.
Yeah.
Just like he gave that little twat on the when they were when he was
Yeah.
captaining that ship.
Well, that's where he learned there. He's like, I gotta cut this stuff off early.
Mm-hmm. He even says to Worf, like, I'm sorry if we terminated our friendship. I'm like, Data, dude, you haven't had a lot of spats with your friends, have you?
Well, no, yeah. But then Worf's like, no, it was my bad, man.
He hasn't had a lot of friends with his friends. I mean, he's
got
only
Geordi
still learning.
But honestly, like, Worf was being a total dickwad.
Oh, he was. No, definitely. Worf was 100% in the wrong.
The fuck are we waiting for?
Yeah, no,
Finally.
don't get me wrong. I am very much on Data's side.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, me too, but I would have been even if Worf was making a good point because I fucking love Data. No offense, Worf.
But yeah, every time Star Trek tries to do the seedy bar, it never fucking works.
My second note after opening with someone creeping on Deanna, thanks episode, is, oh lord, another Star Trek does Mos Eisley.
Dude, yeah, the guy was like, if we were doing business.
Like, you can do a seedy bar in space that isn't Mos Eisley, but the problem is they always try to do Mos Eisley.
You could also do a seedy bar in space where every guy there isn't a fucking
Creeper.
sex
They
pest.
should have brought back the organist opera singer.
Yeah, where the fuck
Yeah.
is she?
She was cool.
Oh, actually, having said that, the seedy bar in Tapestry wasn't too Mos Eisley-ish.
No,
That's true. That was a,
Well,
that
that's
was a
because
college
it was.
bar.
I was gonna say it's because it was mostly populated by Huma.
I
Well,
want
they
them
were
to go
weird.
to a rave
I
and have to
said
find this
mostly.
guy.
That's amusing as a concept, yes. But yeah, no, overall, like, I don't know, I found it fun. I found the pacing good for a two-parter, which again in Star Trek has been non-existent, or at least rare. To the point that actually I remember when part one finished, I was like, oh, that's kind of a weird place to cut off. It's almost like they cut off at a point that just, they ran out of time, not, we're gonna force an end point that's going to fuck up the pacing.
Here's a not interesting cliffhanger.
Well, no, I mean,
Well,
they were
the ship was-
firing on the Enterprise.
Yeah, but
That
it was still
the
a little,
cliffhanger.
like, sudden in a way.
Anybody knows that Picard took the name Galen?
I did.
Which was the name of his buddy from the chase.
Yep.
That was one thing that annoyed me, though, actually, now that you bring that up, is like,
It reminded you of the chase?
no, not that.
Yeah.
How does no one know who Captain Picard
No
is?
one does their research. The people in Starship Mine didn't do it either.
And they were specifically knocking over his ship.
Well, but why would everyone in the world know him?
This man should be on the space news at least once a year, if not more.
Space news.
Like,
I mean-
he's always getting into some crazy shit.
Think about how few people watch the news.
Yeah, I'm
now.
gonna say, like, I can you name one naval captain from all of history?
Commodore Matthew Perry.
Honestly, no. The only person I can think of who's military right now is General Petraeus, and he's probably
Horatio
not even...
Hornblower. Wait,
But
no.
the thing is, but it feels like Starfleet is such a huge part of the Federation in a way that, like...
Well, that's because you're reading the humans' history reporting of the...
But what I mean is, it's so much more a huge, like, part of their culture. In a way that I
Admiral
think-
Nelson.
Yeah, but, like, they probably know,
Well,
like...
Dwight Eisenhower was
whomever
military.
the Donald Trump is of Starfleet is who they know. They probably don't know...
Why don't
I
they
feel
have
like
IDs?
I feel like when it comes to the military, we know the infamous people more than we know the people who are like known not like necessarily for doing good things.
I mean, here's the thing. I wouldn't expect people to be able to name the captain of the USS Bumfuck. But this guy is the captain of the Enterprise. Like, he's on stamps.
Who's currently the fucking commanding officer on the USS Constitution?
But again, this is such a different...
I don't know.
I feel like the
I don't think anyone
relationship
gives a shit.
I also I think like
between Starfleet and the Federation is way different than the relationship between the military and our... Because they're not strictly a military organization.
Yeah, but
they're
they
like...
kind of are, right?
Well, yeah, they are military, but they're...
I don't know.
More
I
than that.
I
I
bet that
still
people
don't
living in
think-
the universe don't give half a shit who Jean-Luc Picard
I
is.
think he's like
But you think that they'd be able to find out? You think
but
there'd be a
only
way?
if they were...
There'd be a way to identify.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, maybe your average civilian wouldn't be able to pick them out of a lineup. But these are, like, mercenaries. People who, like, would be well served to kind of keep a vague idea
One of them's also
important
gotta be
people.
like a hacker or something.
Yeah, like-
someone who can like dig into records.
There isn't one person who's gonna look at him and go, guys, that...
well
Guys?
apparently they didn't even know how their ship worked until Riker showed up.
That's true. Though they did kind of seem to know who he was, which was weird.
Well, he was dressed in Starfleet attire.
Well, yeah, but
And
they,
then
like, heard of him.
And then Picard... Well, no. See, that was Picard
No, I mean, I know
He was providing sauce for the goose.
he was, but I thought someone before
delicious.
I thought somebody else recognized him before Picard said
Picard's
anything.
like, no,
I don't
not
remember.
the
I might-
William Riker.
I might be misremembering.
No,
Hey,
I don't think so. I think they're like, you're a Starfleet guy, and then Picard's like, oh, he's not just any Starfleet guy. This guy's
Yeah,
William
that's
Riker.
what I vaguely remember as well.
So
Don't you know who you're commandeering now?
This is all Bill Reiki.
Can I interrupt this discussion of Gambit really quickly to say that there is a real Paul Stamets
I saw
Yeah,
it.
in
I
the
don't
real
care.
world, and
And
he's
he's
a
a-
real mycologist?
Yeah.
The character was named after him.
That's so
obviously.
fucking cool.
I thought I told
Anyway,
you that before. I'm sorry.
No one told me that.
I
everyone
follow
is,
shit posting.
everyone
so I don't
has
care.
failed me. Anyway, go on.
Cut all that.
Oh, fuck you, though.
And cut the fisting too.
Anyway, was Picard wearing that stupid outfit when he got kidnapped, or is he like trying to adapt to being a mercenary?
I'm gonna say the former.
Yeah, that's probably like his like sporty archaeology clothes.
Every archaeologist has his own man's saddle.
He had the weird
his own
like
harness.
bandoliers in the belt.
Well, that's the thing. So the other thing too is So Picard. The only thing I'm still a little confused about on this episode in terms of the plot is what is he just on vacation?
I'd assumed he just happened to be on an archaeology vacation and then heard shit was happening and
didn't like make a phone call and be like, hey guys, I'm gonna be doing this dangerous thing. So just
Sometimes the spirit takes you, man. You know.
Yeah, but Picard is usually very responsible.
what was his fucking
Is
plan?
he?
Like,
That's a good question because he
Yeah.
also
if
never.
Riker didn't show up, the fucking Berman would have just fucking killed him. Obviously.
He was just kind of going with the flow to weed out what was going on.
I don't
What-
like this Picard guy.
What I understand.
Galen.
What I don't understand the most is why they trust him so much when they literally kidnapped him a week ago, I think? Maybe 2? How long has he been with them that now they put all this trust in him? Like Talera says at one point, like, oh, I've seen you at the weapon systems before and you don't usually have this problem. How often is he operating your weapon systems when he just got here?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, at the very least, they put up with him because he apparently made their sensors work better. He had mentioned that at one point. He vastly improved, well, not their sensors, but the scanner they were using for the artifacts, he apparently improved tenfold or something.
Are all of Baran's crew prisoners? Like, are they all... Because they're all wearing the neck zapper.
Well, that
The
was...
belt of obedience?
I think that was just part of the deal when you signed up.
Well, why would you... No! That's...
Dumb?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Because, like, here's the thing.
That's inviting.
But
I
these
think
don't-
it's pretty obvious that Baran, when he's done with you, he just kills you. I don't think you're ever... Like, even if he's like, oh, yeah, you're going to get 50... You probably promised everybody 50% of the proceeds from the heist.
Yeah, like the producers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, he definitely would not have been captain for more than 2 minutes without those chips.
Yeah, and like, and when did Picard have the time to flip the script on him? And
No
why
idea.
was Baran wearing one himself? Why would he put on?
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Maybe
Like,
he's a
It's
masochist.
a solidarity with my crew. You see, I'll wear one too.
That is a good question.
Like, why did he have one?
Could just be a masochist.
And or maybe like there was another captain and Baran
Oh no,
mutinied.
he said that. Didn't he say that didn't they actually say that there was another captain and he was like, yeah, he made the mistake of
Not...
This might be one of the few times where Caitlin noticed a detail the rest of us
I
didn't.
don't remember.
Yeah,
that.
no, he
I
did
love you,
say...
Caitlin.
He did say that he took over from a captain who didn't enforce discipline enough with him. So, yeah,
So that
he's
captain
he got the thing from that captain.
But why wouldn't he take it out or deactivate it?
Yeah, that's a good question. He
maybe
does seem like
if you
kind
try
of...
to take it out, it explodes.
Yeah, maybe there's no good way to take it out.
So
Like
notice-
that
He
chick
also-
on Tasha Yar's sister's plane.
He
Or
does-
maybe it's like the Borg shit. Maybe if he had a
I mean,
blazing bev, he could
Picard
get it
got
out.
his
but...
taken out before he even got out of his clothes.
Well, he also just seems like an idiot.
Yeah, like
Picard?
No, Baran.
Baran's like,
Picard destroyed the thinger though.
I have a
Yeah.
I
yeah,
have
no,
a
but
fun...
he took it out of his neck. So if it was
He took it out of his own neck. I missed
well, no,
this.
he didn't take it out. But when he was seen back on the ship at the end, he was still wearing his pirate outfit, but the neck thing was out.
Well, it's probably one
That
of those
helped.
things. Yeah, like they have Starfleet medical crew, whereas these have mercenaries.
I have an interesting piece of information about the guy that played Baran.
Oh yeah.
That Liz told me while we were watching this together earlier this week. She said that the actor who played Baran, she was like, yeah, see his face? That's as smooth as you'll ever see it. And do you know why? And I said, no, why? She said, because one time when he was on an LSD trip, he lit himself on fire.
Yikes.
Nice.
Don't do LSD.
Seriously, don't do drugs, kids.
Oh, so speaking of interesting guest stars, so obviously we mentioned already earlier that the Romulan
slash Vulcan
who actually is a
slash
Vulcan,
different Vulcan
is played by Robin Curtis, who we remember fondling as the
Spock
replacement for Kirstie
like.
Alley's character in Star Trek 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now and 4, that's true. She did appear briefly
I always
in
forget
4.
that she's in 4.
Briefly.
Too long.
Anyway, so I think my fan theory is that character, because she wouldn't give her real name because she's pretending to be an agent of the Vulcan security.
So you think T'Pal is also a fake name?
Yeah.
Okay.
My theory is that it is...
You do it in the voice?
That it... What?
The nerd voice?
Is that it is, in fact, Saavik.
She's too young. She looks too young. Here's a different
Plastic
postulation.
surgery has probably had leaps and bounds in the future, though, you know?
I think it could be Spock and Saavik's kid.
Okay. No, I think it's actually Saavik, and here's why. So, the time difference between... The in-universe time difference between Search for Spock, or Star Trek 4 for that matter, and... which is the last time we saw Saavik, and now it's only...
Voyage Home.
Sure, Voyage Home. The last time we saw Saavik is the same pretty much as the time between the last time we saw Spock, at that time, and when we see him in Unification.
Okay. I mean, he has aged a bit.
In real life,
he was an adolescent.
Out of universe, those two actors have aged exactly the same amount of time.
Yeah, I think
which is like 6 years.
Spock is a lot older than
Nimoy
Saavik.
was like 88 or something.
Yeah, they've only aged like
so the
7 years.
The actors had aged the
so I'm
same
saying,
amount.
What
Nimoy had started
off much
older.
Why would Nimoy... Well, no, because Nimoy... I don't think he looked much older in Unification than he looked in...
No.
6.
In 6
he
or
didn't
even
even
4.
age much by the time he was from then to when he was in the...
But he was much older than the character Saavik.
Well, technically, yes and no. He aged super fast.
Yeah,
though,
he was because she was young. Like she was like in her 20s as a Vulcan.
Right.
Yeah. So Star Trek 4, according to Memory Alpha, was 2286.
But it's been what's that, like 90 years?
No, we're in the 60s. I think.
Oh, we're only in the 60s?
Very early 70s.
Oh,
at the
okay.
latest.
So only 70 years, 60 to 70 years.
Yeah. And Vulcans tend to look pretty good
So
for a while.
I think it's quite possible that character is Saavik.
How old is Spock in motion picture?
Well, because remember, Spock is older than everybody in because he was.
Because I have no idea.
Because he's serving with Pike 10 years before Kirk
and yet
takes
he
over the
never
Enterprise.
had to go home for Pon Farr.
Maybe he did while he was on with Pike, and he just never told anybody else about it.
Because that is how Vulcans do.
But he wasn't married to
her.
We're getting back to amok time problems.
Anyway, point is, I'm going to assume that he was in his 20s ish when he was with Pike.
Yeah.
In Menagerie time. Well, how old was Leonard Nimoy? He was probably in his 30s during Menagerie.
Sure.
And if that's supposed to be 10 years earlier, even though it was only filmed a year earlier.
This is too much math. Go to your point.
My point is, I don't think there's any age problem with that being Saavik. That's all.
Yeah, it's funny. I would have disagreed, but you've explained it, so I'm like, yeah, okay.
Though I will say I like the idea of Spock's secret love child being an angry Vulcan rebel. Maybe because
she couldn't stand Saavik because Saavik was terrible.
Even not really remembering that she was a secret Vulcan.
She dropped logic a couple times.
She said
when she was still a Romulan.
I was like, okay, writers, come on.
How well can a Vulcan act like a Romulan?
Well enough.
That's a question. That was my question.
Oh. That was funny because I had the same note.
The answer is if you're Robin Curtis, yes, it doesn't fucking matter.
I wrote that it's like, guys, she's a Romulan, not a Vulcan. Stop with the Oh, she is a Vulcan. Holy shit. Foreshadowing.
Yeah, as soon as she said logic, I was like, oh, right, she's a Vulcan.
See, I've never seen this one, so... Yeah. She was a double twist. I was excited. It was great. It's like, oh, shit, she's a Vulcan. Oh, shit, she's a rebel. This is great.
Oh, shit, she's Spock's kid.
That's even better.
Which is another thing.
It's a double twist.
People all had their panties in a bunch about the Vulcan extremists in Discovery. being a thing.
Vulcan extremists.
Do you remember, like
The logic extremists.
It was a brief side plot.
Oh,
They're the ones that
I've been trying
imploded.
so hard not to pay a ton of attention
That's
during Discovery.
they're the people that set off the bomb in the learning center, which is why Michael had to mind meld with Sarek.
Yeah, that's why she has his Katra.
Yikes.
But anyway, so and people are like, there wouldn't be Vulcan logic extremists. The Vulcans are so tempered, and then. But we have precedent here.
Oh, I read about that, actually. I read that Shankar, whose name I forget already, Naren? Something like that, the writer, basically decided that the Vulcan part of the story was going to be based on a reference made in Journey to Babel, when Spock says something to the effect of, oh yeah, a Vulcan is capable of killing if it's logical.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, another important guest star, we had Ensign Claire Huxtable at Ops.
Giusti, I think?
Was it Claire?
Claire?
Oh,
What the fuck are you talking about?
I know that woman was on the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes,
All I
Sandra
know
LaBeouf.
is she was terrible in this.
Oh, she was the worst. I was shocked to see she'd actually done acting before.
Yeah, I didn't look her up.
Claire
so,
was the
'cause
mom. Who was the fucking? Who was that?
I've never
girl?
seen the show.
Are we talking about what the really, like, the...
Was it Sandra?
What are y'all...
Yes, it was Sandra.
Yeah, Sandra. Yep. Yeah.
The woman who was
Sandra Huxtable.
running ops while Data was acting captain.
The girl who couldn't fucking
She
act.
was awful. I'm shocked she did anything else.
She was a major part in the COD. Like, she wasn't like...
Really?
Oh, she was one of the family.
That's
Which,
shocking.
I mean, she wasn't, top billing.
Still, she was really bad in this.
Um,
Again, that's a huge
She
tradition.
appeared in a lot of episodes.
That's a huge TNG tradition, though, is like your random fucking front end people are generally bad.
Yeah, if it's not Data, even Wesley's better than them because he's at least...
Yeah, that's what I mean. The random fill-in people, not the...
Will Wheaton can act.
Yeah.
Or my favorite guest star was Koral the Klingon, who was played by NBA star James Worthy, which is why he's like 9 feet tall.
I was kind of wondering if he was an athlete.
he was so tall.
Apparently,
holy
he had a random meeting, like a run-in with the guy who plays Gowron, something O'Reilly.
Robert
O'Reilly, and asked him to put feelers out to get him on the show.
Amazing.
Robert
So
Crazy Eyes
Gowron
O'Reilly.
doing favors for folk.
There we go.
Couple.
I enjoyed his scenes.
Oh, he was
Nothing
nice.
much
I liked him.
I like when he just spilled the blood wine and Data's face. I want to go it is so hard to get blood wine stains out of the rug. Damn it.
I just love that his answer to everything was no.
Yeah. No, he was great.
No.
He
was fun.
Where are my notes? Oh, you know what I liked, actually? Good scene for Troy, where she gives Riker what for when he's trying to be all moody.
When he's
she's like, fuck you, we're all upset. It's like, yes! Give it to him!
That's one of the times where I feel like I have realized that I think part of the why I feel like the quality of her acting isn't always good is because she has to try so hard to maintain that fucking accent. Like, I feel like the only thing holding that particular scene back from her from being like a 10 from a 9.
Well, didn't she come up with the accent herself?
She
so
did.
Really, she's hamstringing herself.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Marina Sirtis.
Okay, so I think I might have mentioned this before, but there's an interview that I saw with her.
I think we shared the video ages ago, possibly.
Well, then I'll restate it. You can cut it if you want. Is that, she was originally just speaking with her own accent, her own English accent.
Yeah.
And Berman or somebody said, no, you have to have
a Beta Z
an alien accent. And then when Majel showed up and had Majel accent, she was like, why doesn't Majel have to speak with a Beta Z accent? And they're like, fuck it.
She's more worldly than
you. No, they were like, it's not a Beta Z accent. It's your father. It was your father's accent.
And then her father ended up also having a normal human accent.
And she goes, what the fuck, Berman? And he goes, I don't know, boarding school.
When do we meet the father?
Not soon.
Not soon?
No, soon.
No, soon.
Yes. No, there's a Loxana episode coming up. I think it might have.
Is it good or bad?
I don't remember.
Flip a coin.
Because I really want to love the Loxana episode, so I hope it's a good one.
Moments.
She has. Half-Life,
much like Troy,
was so good.
Cost of Living.
To this day, that's probably one of my favorite episodes. I thought
Half-Life.
It was super good.
Another thing that was kind of amusing about this episode. I mean, for me, it was fun. I could see how other people would be like, "This is fucking ridiculous."
Why do you look at me when you say that?
But
because he doesn't want to look at me because I'm the one that's thinking that.
No, it was just watching Baran gift wrap himself. Like, the whole... It's like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna cozy up to Galen. And Riker's like, sounds good. hey, how about, And then later it's like, you know what? You and Galen are both gonna go on the raiding party to the Enterprise. Like,
yeah, do you know that his plan, like, never... Because his original plan was the only reason he wanted Riker to get close to Galen
was
so that he could get Galen to organize a mutiny.
Yeah, so we can figure out who the mutineers would be, right?
And expose the mutineers. But that plan got abandoned.
Of which all of them would have been mutinies.
Yep.
And then literally everybody mutinied.
Yep.
Like, that's the thing. I think what they did, they actually did do a really good job, I think, in this. I don't know if this is their intent, but, like, Berman is a fucking moron who only holds power because he's got the doodly bob.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, his plans are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
He can't see through the flimsiest pretenses. And he just seems to know exactly what his enemies need him to do to make their lives easier. He's one of the most pathetic villains they've ever had. And it's kind of amazing to watch him fuck himself.
And, like, just in the... And maybe it was because they kind of did him up and he kind of had a Ricardo Montalban look to him.
Yeah.
Like, I kept trying to think they're trying to con him. They're trying to make him, like, this like,
no, he was
evil...
too busy conning himself.
Yeah, I was like...
See, I just thought he looked like he escaped a bad glam rock band. Not
That's
glam,
a little what
hair
Khan
metal
looks
band.
like, too.
So,
Well,
do we think that he
Khan was
might
at
have
least in
been
a
the
good
same
glam rock band.
species as
Maress?
President Red Foreman?
I thought that too. They both have that really cat-like thing going
Yeah.
on.
Oh, maybe.
I was
have to look.
thinking that.
And they're both like
Like, kind of the
pretty
makeup was
homely
similar.
men under those makeups.
The thing is, he had like something weird going on with his brow
Yeah, I
that
don't
Red
think-
Oh
Foreman
my God.
didn't.
That's true.
Do you know what I said when I was watching and I said to Liz, do you guys remember that fucking Beauty and the Beast show that was on in like the 90s?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
it was.
He
so
looked
bad.
like Beast.
He looked
Yeah.
like it was Ron Perlman.
Yeah, it was Ron Perlman.
Yeah,
was
you're
a young
right.
Ron
Liz
Perlman.
said that at the time too, and I already literally forgot. But yeah, but I feel like he looked like the Beast in that.
Yeah, Baran was an idiot. I like the whole thing with Savick, who I am now accepting Ames' headcanon, that it's a very angry Spock offspring who's mad that, you know, her father pumped and dumped her mother.
Pumped and dumped.
Oh,
I'm
As a teenage boy.
I'm on Team Jake, who believes that it is Savick
I just-
herself.
You know, my only problem with that theory, I mean, it makes sense in some ways, but I just don't picture Savick having the chutzpah to be a rebel.
Maybe
Seela's
maybe-
back.
Why can't she be pissed enough on her own behalf that Spock did a pump and dump?
Because I just don't, again, I don't think she has...
Especially since
She doesn't feel like a character, like, well, I should rephrase this. Kirstie Alley's Savick, I could see becoming a rebel. Robin Curtis's Savick,
yeah, I know she sucks,
Well,
but it's still the same character.
Well, also,
They're not Time Lords. The personality didn't
remember that
change.
was it an early draft or an early plan that
oh yeah, that she was totally knocked up with Spock's kid.
No, that she was the one who
Varys-
turned
that-
coats in 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
going to be Savick.
See, I wouldn't have bought that.
Well, I think that might be why they didn't go that route with the... And also, they probably were just like, oh, then we'd have to have Robin Curtis in the movie, and
Yeah.
Ken Cattrall would be so much better.
We're really sick of giving her money.
I think that's
I liked
that's
her in
probably
this
the
a lot,
real
though.
reason.
I really quite liked her in this. I thought she made a better this character. than
Savick.
I
Savick.
still
Both
think.
are
Well,
Savick.
yeah. I think maybe after her reception from the previous appearances, she went out and got some acting classes.
I mean, also maybe.
And then I looked her up to see. Well, I wonder what she's up to now. She's a real estate broker now. Robin Curtis,
Oh, listen.
IRL.
Of course, if you're doing real estate in like Los Angeles, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, she's
the
probably
money
cleaning
is-
up, but she's officially retired from acting, which good move. Good move for her.
Again, I really liked her in this. I thought she was good.
Yeah, I thought so too.
It was fun. I was just too lost in this episode, being like, why exactly are we here, and why is Picard into this?
It really did feel just like,
spent a lot of time on this show. I have to turn back time.
if I could turn
But yeah, no, my
back
only
time.
problem with it was the resolution, because that was a little...
The resolution is hot garbage.
Like, it should have been some kind of other weapon or something that just wasn't...
I mean, I would have
Defeat
liked it.
with happy
Man,
thoughts.
you know what would have been really cool is if they did a Raiders thing where the
Oh.
weapon, like it was still the same conceit
Oh,
that
she,
it was
like,
it was
melts.
about like a pureness of character or like
Yeah.
something, but like maybe not peace, but like you had to have logic.
Mm.
or something, and that because she was behaving illogically, it like
Backfire.
turned on her and her face
that's
melted.
interesting.
That would
Like,
work,
her
yeah,
fa-
dude. Really, just stick the whole Indiana Jones landing.
Yeah, really,
Just really
I just
lean into
wanted
it.
a face melt
That's fair.
because that's such an awesome effect.
It is.
Yikes.
They
I
probably
saw a behind the scenes video on how they did that. It's really cool.
Didn't they? Wasn't it literally like stop motion? They sped up or
No,
something?
it was sped up footage, but what they did is they sculpted
that's
out
right.
of
That's
gelatin.
right.
Well, they didn't sculpt. They cast the actor's bust in many layers of different colored gelatin,
That's right.
and then painted it, and then
Ate it. Oh.
literally melted it with propane
Yeah.
heaters so that it would, and then sped up that footage.
Yeah, that's right. I think recently, I don't know if it was officially licensed or not, but someone was making like a candle of the character, and you could light it.
Oh, and it melts. That's
slowly,
great.
yeah.
You know, yet another George Lucas character naming triumph with that guy. His name was General Todt,
Oh, yeah.
which is
Death.
Oh yeah, in
Lucas!
German. In German.
Sleazebago!
He's back on.
Yeah. Anyway, but getting back to
Star Trek.
wrapping up Gambit.
Yep.
Gene Roddenberry, who is now long dead,
Yeah, wait, what?
had a long-standing taboo of space pirates
Really?
that they shat all over this episode to the point that
Does he not remember Harry Mudd?
I was gonna say, we have
I
Mud.
wouldn't call him a pirate.
He's like...
He's a rogue.
He's a hooligan.
He's a snake oil salesman in space.
That's
He's not
fair,
a pirate.
that's fair.
Rick Berman tells the story of how he had a bust of Gene Roddenberry on his desk, which, weird, that he would blindfold whenever they did shit like this, so that he wouldn't see it.
That sounds apocryphal. Or it sounds like something that Rick Berman would make up
Yeah.
for a TV interview.
Yeah, like I don't doubt he said it.
Yes. But I doubt it's real.
Yeah, no, Rick Berman has made up lies.
Yeah. And
I
sexual harassment.
Yeah, I remember specifically reading years ago. I remember this because it pissed me off so much that it turned out to be a lie. Where he promised that no one would be in like slinky cat suits in Enterprise,
Oh, God.
and then oh look,
Shat right
To
on
Paul.
that, too.
fucking Berman.
Although, I don't have strong feelings on T'Pol's character. She's garbage in season 1, but improves from there.
She improves, but I feel like she is definitely done poorly by her outfits.
But I will say that despite being easy on the eyes, and that being the main reason for her inclusion in the show, 7 of 9 has like some of the best stories in Voyager. And I stand by that, and we'll talk about it in
Isn't
the
she
future.
just kind of like the sexy lady Data of Voyager, like learning how to human?
There's some of that, but she's very good at it.
Yeah, she's not. Yeah, we'll talk about this again in a couple of years. But
Yeah.
yeah, where Data is trying to.
She's a more fleshed out character than Data.
More fleshed out. Bosoms.
Oh, bosoms.
Tatties.
Oh, them. Yeah, where Data is, a Pinocchio character trying to become a real
boy.
She's already human, trying to relearn how to be human.
Yeah.
Sometimes actively, sometimes passively.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, I suppose...
Oh, yeah, we have another episode.
Yeah,
oh, my
we should-
God.
Right.
move
And we're
on
already in
to
the green,
Phantasms,
so-
which is depressing.
Caitlin, give us a quickie on this one.
Alright, but it'll cost you. So, Phantasms. Data starts having really weird fucking nightmares, and he's like, I'm really preoccupied by these nightmares. I'm having dreams about Troy being a cake and me cutting her shoulder, and Bev is drinking out of Riker's head, and I keep hearing a phone ring, and I don't know what the fuck is going on. So, Data basically talks to Troy about these weird dreams he's having, and she's...
Freud.
Yeah, God, that was so stupid.
She was so jealous that he went to
She
Freud.
was like, next time call me first, bitch. And he was like,
he
no.
met a minor 49er.
Minor 49er, yeah. In the dreams, he meets like
Ooh.
3, sorry. He meets 3 minors, and that's usually when the dream ends, because they're like, shut up!
Oh, you prick!
Jake,
Yep, that was
you're
rough.
so cruel to our listeners. And,
What about me?
And to our
mostly
Chris.
Our listener, Chris.
Chris is gonna have to edit that now, too. Like, he's already been lulled into a false sense of security after we blew his eardrums at the beginning of the fucking thing. Poor Chris. Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, you say that, but you're, when you're deaf, you know it's Jake's
My
fault.
hair's already terrible.
What?
Joke.
Ha.
I get it.
Ha.
I get the joke.
Huh.
All right.
Anyway,
summary, so we can.
Minors.
so minors, and then so he starts having kind of waking dreams and hallucinations, and this culminates in him thinking he sees a mouth on Troy's shoulder and stabbing the shit out of her. in the shoulder. He doesn't kill her, but she goes to sickbay, and Bev's like, let me just... Okay, that's nice and healed. But Bev soon discovers that, like, there's something still that's a little bit weird there, and upon further inspection, she finds that there's some kind of thing on her shoulder, like
Parasite.
Interphasic parasite.
leeching her cellular peptides.
With mint frosting.
Mint frosting.
That was good, yes.
Want to try some? No. You would think that if Data was dreaming, he would want to try food.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so it turns out these motherfucking things are on everybody on the ship, and all of the weird shit that Data was seeing, like the straw that was coming out of Riker's head, that's where his parasite is, and all this kinds of shit. So,
Yeah.
Data gets away with almost killing a crew member, and
then
saves
he-
the day.
And then he gets a cake.
He does get a cake of himself.
Which, like, really, Troy, is that your idea of fucking humor? First of all, he can't fucking eat it, you cow.
He can eat. He just doesn't need to.
I thought he couldn't.
No,
He said
he-
before.
How does he
eats.
make a poop?
We've discussed this.
I don't remember.
I don't know, but he
He
does.
has an injection system.
He can eat if he wants. This episode sucked.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
It
You
was
know,
fucking awful.
I never
I
cared for
didn't
this
hate
episode.
it, but I didn't like it.
I never cared for the episode, but I don't know. I must be getting soft in my old age because, like, I saw this is an episode I've seen before, and I didn't like it, and I've seen it again, and I'm like, I didn't think it was bad. Caitlin, you
I was
missed.
mostly confused.
I thought
In
it
your
was
summary,
alright.
you missed the B plot also, where Picard is
Oh yeah.
trying to get to hilariously trying to get to a admiral's banquet that he's been invited to that he doesn't want to go to, and conveniently the ship keeps breaking.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
That's right, because they installed a new warp core. That's right, and that's
Admiral-
why this all happened.
Nakamura.
Admiral Nakamura keeps calling him.
Came back from,
and like straight up fucking dirty dogs him on the bridge and is like, "Are you sure you're not making up bullshit, Picard?"
I appreciate that they fucking dug up an admiral we haven't seen since like season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad he's still around.
Yeah, no, me too. But it was just so funny. It's like, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure we've seen this guy. And I looked him up, and it's like, holy shit, he's from Mayor of a Man.
You know what
Yeah.
else I forgot to mention? The C plot, which is that somebody in engineering is super creeping on Geordi, and he thinks it's a little fucking uncomfortable.
That's rich.
What a
Yeah,
you're telling me that someone who continues to pursue you with their romantic inclinations when you don't feel the same way, that's a little fucking awkward for you, Gordo?
That side plot just got totally abandoned.
It just
Oh,
stopped.
that's true.
Yeah,
and we'll
thank
probably never see her
God.
again,
Like,
will we?
no, like
Which, good, because her voice was annoying.
She was kind of the new
Oh my
Gomez
god,
a
she
little
was.
bit.
She
She
was
was-
the worst. She was terrible.
Like,
But,
I don't in any way want to forgive Gordo. Like, he totally deserves this. But her voice was so
pretty bad.
annoying.
her
and
voice
she
was
did do
annoying.
him a solid in getting Picard
She
out
did,
of the
that's
way.
true.
Because Picard was being like a fucking micromanaging douche.
Which was kind of
I
funny.
don't think he was really micromanaging. I think he was just honestly
Well,
feeling
yeah,
antsy
okay.
and wanted to see if he could speed things along. I mean, how long was their warp drive broken over and over again?
So here's what makes no fucking sense about that, by the way.
the whole episode.
Well, yes, but they had, like, just left a space dock when they realized their warp core wasn't working. Why didn't they go back to the space dock?
Because their warp core wasn't working.
But they hadn't warped!
Yeah, they could have just turned around.
They'd gone
and
like
back.
10 feet!
No, but they didn't. They were adrift. He actually said that.
Well, yes, but
had
Eventually
no-
they were.
But
At
they could have,
first-
like, the
at
first
they
time they
could've.
could have been like, beep, beep, hey, space dock, we're coming back. Something broke.
We
Because it
could-
opens with them just leaving a space dock at Impulse. They're leaving at Impulse, and then they go to warp, and it doesn't work, and instead of turn right the fuck around, they probably could have looked out the window and waved at people in the space dock.
One of them does that little
So
flip.
now-
Yeah.
So this is an interesting thing, right? So this whole thing it's a brand new warp core.
Yeah, it's got a stupid light thing
It's
on
more
the...
green. It's got more
Yeah.
green on it.
And it's got a little digital pad on the dilithium chamber
Everyone's
now.
going green.
But they never say like, you know,
What is so-
yeah. When the Binars did their shit, there was like all these great benefits. But
Were they working on the warp core?
They were working on the
Everything.
They were working on
They
everything.
were just
Mostly the holodeck, making minuets.
In the
well,
computer.
yes, but they were upgrading shit.
But they never, they never did say
But they
what
never,
the big
yeah.
deal was here.
Was there a problem with the old one? Is this that new design that Brahms was working on
maybe.
that had Geordi's
thing, yeah.
Geordi's special thing in it?
Yeah.
His penis?
Penis.
Yeah.
No, but remember how he made the upgrade, and she was like, "Oh, this is going to be in the next generation." Hey.
Yay.
But yeah, okay. So cellular peptide cake.
Yum.
Mint frosting.
It looked good. Although mint frosting on a white cake, especially.
I thought it looked like a cheesecake. I thought for sure it was going to be a cheesecake.
It looked like a vanilla.
It was a sponge-like cake.
Yeah,
I didn't think it looked spongy.
No, it was definitely a sponge.
Oh, well, excuse me.
It definitely wasn't a cheese. No, I was reading up that it was like the biggest issue getting this fucking cake. Because I guess the whole teams didn't agree on what the cake should be. And like Brennan Braga, who wrote this, because God fucking damn it, Brennan Braga, wanted a full length, and I wrote anatomically correct cake. I'm not sure what that means.
Jesus.
Big old titties.
With lots of gore. And they finally agreed, okay, let's just use, a flat couple of sheet cakes painted to look like a uniform.
But the titties!
It was originally supposed to be something with arms and legs, but I guess that got cut. They had to shove Marina in a torture box.
Well, it's all and like it also didn't look.
But they
very
also
good.
suspended her from the ceiling so they could really fuck with her.
But like it also like.
Oh yeah,
they could have done way better with the head being attached to the cake, because as it looked, the illusion.
Her head was.
It was just her head poking out of a table.
Yeah.
And like a cake set in front of the hole in the
like
table.
They didn't
it's
even
a dream,
try.
Here's the thing.
But if it was a dream, it would have looked like they would have done makeup to make it look like the cake went into her head.
It's a dream, so nothing has to be realistic.
I'm pretty sure that by now Tom Petty had already made his "Don't Come Around Here No More" music video, which ends with an Alice in Wonderland shaped cake that he's cutting up for the rest of the people in the video. Pretty sure if they had wanted to, they could have made it look a lot better, because Tom Petty...
So what you're saying is this episode is ripping off that music video?
Well, I don't actually know which came first.
Let's go with yes, because fuck this episode.
Tom Petty probably had already done this by then. But I could be wrong.
But yeah, so I was not... Yeah, there were certain things I didn't care for in this episode. But I have to say, I say this every time they do a horror theme, but I do think that this is one of the better horror themes. Or like, I don't know.
Which ones would you consider the better horror episodes?
None of them are very good, but I feel like they're getting progressively better.
Night Terrors, Schisms?
No, Schisms is terrible.
Sucked.
What other ones are you thinking of?
Probably Night Terrors is probably the best.
But it's
that
still
they've done
garbage.
Yet. It is, but like this one, the fucking invisible parasites on everybody,
Those
which Data somehow subconsciously knows are there. What?
So the whole idea was
I was confused on that.
I think it was that they were, they're
Does he have Geordie's
interphasing.
visor?
No, I think it's a.
Did he have one on him?
I think it was interacting with like the signals that they were outputting.
We're fucking with his normal.
We're hitting his We're interacting with his positronic brain.
Well, and again, he might have even had one connected to him, but because he didn't have any peptides,
he didn't have one.
He definitely didn't.
Bev said that she checked him.
Oh,
and he didn't.
Right.
But Data's not going to be as tasty as everybody else.
That was also a really bad choice. Was the fact that like whenever they showed Beverly's, it seemed to be living on her sleeve.
Oh, I love sleeves.
So it should have just been like, well, Bev can just take her jacket off and she'll be fine.
Bev has the tastiest sleeves.
It's true.
I have to give Data props though on surgical precision with that stabbing. Because he stabbed her he like went full psycho with the stabbing, and then when they showed her, she only had one puncture. So he must have just hit her repeatedly in the same spot.
And he managed to
Yes, it
not...
looked super shitty when he was.
And like, and then like, I get that it was like
they cut that scene in the UK because
it was
UK.
Oh yeah, see that's way better.
1985.
What video is this?
This is a Tom Petty video.
Tom video. Oh, she's a cake.
Yes,
and it's way better.
Yeah, way better effect.
much better.
Yeah, they said, "Oh, she's lost a lot of blood." I'm like, "No, she hasn't." They
showed
her.
Literally
There was
She's
no
lost
blood on her uniform.
Well,
She's lost a lot of frosting.
In theory, that is where a major artery is.
Yeah, that's
she
true.
should have had a lot more blood.
Well, it was like primetime TV. And shit.
Also, like that fucking knife thing was fucking badass. That would have fucked her up bad.
That fucking
What kind
knife,
of
that
tool
was fucking
that?
huge.
It was
Why did they need
I thought it
that?
was a bracket, he said, or something?
Bracket.
See,
Listen,
at
we
first,
all said a lot of things, okay?
yeah,
That's true. A lot of things were said this episode.
yeah, it didn't make
None of
sense to
them
me
good.
that. So Geordie handed Data the piece of the ship.
Yeah. Because it
that
wasn't
looked
technically a
like-
tool. It
that-
was like a brace or a bracket or something.
Yeah, it was something that was a part of the ship.
Yeah.
But it looked like the knife, and Data even remarked, "This looks like the knife from my dream," which
And then he sees the
mouth on Geordie.
And then the phone starts ringing.
But here's the thing: he wasn't prescient in his dreams. Why would the dream knife have anything to do with the part of the ship that was not even broken.
I have no answer for you.
Like, I don't know. It's just like it added a weird like supernatural element that I don't think needed or should have been there.
Maybe Data also sleepwalked and put it there.
Because the whole reason Geordi even wanted Data to look at this thing is like, oh, maybe it's because this part is broken. So do an analysis to make sure it's correct. But it wasn't. The actual problem was that the thing, the manifold or whatever the fuck it was, had bugs living in it. That was the actual problem with the ship. So it didn't make a ton of sense to me. Data's like why the knife in the dream had anything to do with the part other than superficially. And maybe it wasn't supposed to. Maybe that's fine. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I don't know.
It could also just easily be a plot hole that they didn't notice because it was season 7 and everyone had attentions that were divided.
It's right. It was a brace coil.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Yeah, definitely didn't look just like a gigantic knife.
Yeah.
Also, did anybody else think that it was a coin flip whether the Data's dreams were actually Data's dreams or just one of Barclay's holodeck programs?
I didn't think of that. Although I did think of Barclay with this episode, because I feel like when he was talking about developing a neurosis, it's like, Troy should be like, go talk to Barclay. He knows all about fucking neuroses.
And he loves developing
Troy
neuroses.
got so fucking wet when she's like, ooh, I'm going to get to psychologize Data.
Seriously.
Because, Data's crazy. Oh, this will be so much fun.
I'm going to write so many papers on the crazy robot.
And then at the end, it was, oh, no, he was just being influenced by space monsters.
Yeah, we still write a paper on that.
Also, can we just talk about how Picard's solution here was kill them all?
Yeah, that was a bit fucked up.
Like, not even
parasites.
Well, sure.
Yeah, but this
is
the
nanites.
If your ship had fleas, you'd want to kill all the fleas.
This is a guy.
He loves
the nanites.
He
The nanites were
loves
this.
committing genocide as long as it's not on cute things.
That's what I say though. The
all
Send
about
some
that.
exocoms
This
at
is the
it.
man who didn't genocide the Borg.
Yeah, he's just like, no, just let's just kill them all.
I had
Kill
the
them
same
till they're
thought.
dead.
It's like we're just okay, no question. We're not going to try to find a way to safely. We're just gonna.
Also, they're clearly intelligent because they're talking to you.
But fuck it,
just kill them.
Talking to you?
In the minors.
the dream, yeah, that they're communicating with Data.
You consider that communicating with Data?
That was them trying to.
I assumed
certainly.
it was them talking to Data.
It was them telling him to shut the fuck up.
I don't know. That's a stretch for me because it's a dream, and dreams, they're not literal.
But that's the thing, though. These dreams were not really the dreams. They were the dreams.
Were a malfunction.
The dreams were the
Data's
bugs
interpretation of what
what the bugs were saying. To him.
But they weren't they weren't specifically saying like pick up the phone.
No. This was a form of communication. I think the implication was that
no, I think I would disagree and say that it's Data understanding like what's going on.
Well,
Data seeing that they don't like the
then
noise.
why do the miners say why do the miners say you are our enemy?
Because he's figuring out how he can fight them.
Why are the miners specifically taking apart the new parts the new parts that were installed on the Enterprise, if not to say
because dream sequences are fucking stupid.
Well,
that's
yes.
why.
Well, there's that.
I want to go on a short tear about dream sequences.
Please
go for it.
Go on a long tear about it.
I want to go on a fucking tear. So I was reading up on this episode, and the AV Club lists this episode in their list of the 21 TV episodes that do dream sequences right. And
Well, the AV Club's wrong.
And that just pisses me off. It was a
Well,
lot of...
is it because they did all 21 episodes of television shows that have had dream sequences? And
There's a lot of TV that has dream sequences, and a lot of them are really fucking stupid. Like, there was, it's all, like, Twin Peaksy, weird, random stuff that looks arty because it's dream sequences, and you can get away with whatever the fuck you want, as long as you say it's in a dream sequence, so that you can, like, add in your what word am I looking for?
I don't know.
Deus Ex Machina?
Yeah,
artsy
kinda
fartsy
like
shit.
Yeah, or like make your connections to the actual plot by making it happen in the dream, so you can be like, oh look, it's connected, and it drives me fucking nuts because it's so tired and lazy.
And that never happens in real life.
If these are realistic dreams, it really would have just been Data
banging Yar.
Data wakes up, he tries to go to his shift,
But he's naked.
But he's naked, and he goes back.
And it's his first day of school again.
He goes back to his quarters to try and get his clothes, but he can only find his underwear. Mm-hmm. And he tries to put them on, but he can't.
And then all his teeth fall out.
And then he ends up going on duty naked anyway.
With no teeth.
And then
his grandmother is there.
And then he gets chased down a hallway.
God,
and wakes up right when the guy's about to shoot him.
I wish I just had dreams like that. That would be much nicer.
No, but I was actually thinking, guys, because this list that I found, it didn't include my two favorite, my two dream sequences that I actually think work well. One, because it was done too recently to be in this list. And I don't know why they didn't include Futurama's The Sting. Because the one with the bee sting, which is great, and it's a really interesting and different way of doing a dream sequence that isn't just, I had a dream about this, and here's how it's connected to the plot.
Yeah, that's a good episode.
It's a great episode. It's one of my favorite episodes.
I mean, I believe it, but I just don't know it.
Yeah.
But what was the other one that was too recent?
The other one that I like, it's called Real Life. It's from the new series that's on Amazon Prime, Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams.
Oh, okay.
It's a plot in which one character takes some kind of a thing. Can you help explain this?
I don't even remember the episode.
It's one where one of the characters goes into this dream state because it's effectively like playing a virtual reality game.
Okay.
So you go into this dream state where you get to play a character, and this person's playing this character, and then that character falls asleep and becomes the girl that fell asleep and was playing the character. So you don't know which one is real.
Oh, jeez.
And they're both talking about the other one being like, oh man, I gotta stop doing this thing, or I gotta, keep awake and do this.
It's that whole, if your wakefulness is someone else's dream and your dreams is someone else's wakefulness thing.
Yeah, and it's
That's
really
kinda fun.
trippy. It's a good episode. I also
if
enjoy
my
the show.
dreams are somebody else's wakefulness, and that person really has a problem getting dressed. Because, honestly, I would say 3/4 of my dreams involve me being unable to clothe myself. And it's either because I can't find clothes.
You should make a holodeck program with Freud.
And it's always because I have to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Either I cannot find clothes, and in that case, it's usually just a matter of I'll say fuck it and I'll go naked in the dream. Or I have clothes and I cannot maneuver my legs into the pants. I physically cannot I'm do not have the dexterity.
Got, noodle arms or what?
No, I'll try to move my legs and it just won't work.
Jake, one leg at a time.
They
You gotta
won't
remember
go
basic
in,
principles.
It just ends with you wearing your pants on your head, screaming, "How do clothes work?"
It just ends with me being like, "Fuck it, I guess I'll go naked." That's how they all end.
Wow. I have so many dreams about really illogically designed bathrooms.
Really?
They're always really upsetting. You go into a dream and they'll be like, a bathroom stall, because, it's in this dream I have to go find the bathroom. There's a bathroom stall, but, with the door that only covers half of the space. Or, a clear door for no reason. Or, a double toilet, which is a thing I've seen in my dreams.
It's like a double-headed shower through when you and your partner want to shit
the double
together.
toilet is the other toilet, is it an upper decker?
Yep.
Oh, boy.
So is it
Or you have to squeeze into it.
Are you getting can two people poop at once? Is this the idea?
Probably.
Wow.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to be
That's
the one
some
on the
innovation
bottom.
right there. I think I could see that happening in real life.
Or just there's a fountain and everyone uses fountains and they're all there's
When you
so
say
many...
fountains, do you actually mean bidets? Is just more of your poop talk?
No, like a fountain that you flip a penny into in the park.
And they poop in it?
Sure.
Why not?
Wow.
That's the future we're heading to, Caitlin. So
It's the future the fucking liberals want.
Yeah, that's right. AOC, she's
It's the Green
Fountain
New
toilets.
Deal, just shit in fountains.
Brown New Deal.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Analyze that. Anyway, who else has creepy dream patterns?
I dream about zombies a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
All I know is for the past few months, I don't always remember my dreams, but I almost always wake up from them being like, that was fucking weird. Except most recently, where I had this big dream where somehow I knew a bunch of people were going to die, and I could have prevented it. But I kept fucking up, so a lot of people died.
I could have prevented it, but I hated those people.
No,
so
I
let
was
them die.
actively trying to, and it really didn't go well. And then it ended with my guts falling out because I got caught in a bomb blast.
That's awful.
Yeah, no, it was horrific. You're supposed to wake up before that shit happens.
Yikes.
Yeah, apparently your brain didn't get the memo on that.
Yeah, what an asshole.
No, it's a brain. It's not.
Oh, sorry, this isn't Phantasms. This is some of Gambit I meant to mention, and I forgot. I'm going to do it now because it's a better episode. At the end, where... Oh, yeah.
No.
Where,
Bad.
Yes.
Picard was like, well, if we're going by the letter, you're wanted, and Data starts to drag Riker
where it
away
ends
to
on
the...
the stupid joke.
That was dumb, don't get me wrong. But the way the music was starting to go, I thought they were finally going to resurrect... I feel like that would have worked great there. Like, Data! Like, that was a perfect place for TOS goof music.
Well, it was that. Yeah, there was kind of TOS goof music.
There was, but it wasn't. They didn't commit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We
sorry.
just watched a whole bunch of mercenaries die.
Yeah, fuck them though.
Yeah, fuck them.
Phantasms though.
Yeah.
It sure was, Meg.
Yeah, the straw on the head was pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just
all
all this surreal
bad.
nonsense.
Data, answer the fucking phone!
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
no, this one was bad. I didn't like it.
I don't know. I didn't really like either of them that much.
I thought Gambit was fun. Weird, but fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of... I would put probably both of these at like a 6 out of 10.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, less.
No, Phantasms is definitely
3.
really
Whoa.
quite
Two.
bad.
See, I think
Two
I
or
liked.
three.
I think I liked Phantasms more than Gambit.
I'm going to give Phantasms a tiny edge.
Okay, I'll give Phantasm a couple extra points because Spot was in it.
Oh,
And
that's
Spot
Spot.
got to play with a
pretty
toy.
cat and a good cat.
And a good cat.
Well, here's a pretty cat and a good cat.
I loved that. I've been waiting for that the whole time we've been watching TNG.
I didn't like the way Worf was holding.
Well, or Brent Spiner. Neither of them obviously like cats. Because
Brent hates working with that.
That's
cat.
what I'm saying. Like you can tell because neither of them know how to fucking handle this animal.
I think I shared a while back.
Poor Spot.
Well, Brent Spiner just going off on how much he hated working with the cats.
Why does he hate the cats
Well,
so
it's
much?
the cat actors because it's so hard to get cats to do a thing you want them to do.
Yeah, that's why you don't try. You just let them be cats.
They didn't manage to keep him on the bed a long time.
Oh yeah, the cat was just chill while Data
there.
was staring at
Because
him.
they probably just waited until the cat actually wanted to be there.
Or they
And then
drugged
Data
it.
just booted him off the bed when he got in.
Wake up, fuckhead.
Oh god, was it this one? Shit. There was one of them we watched. But I think it was this one. Where he's like playing doing the dangly cat and then but then
Troy walks in and he just
flings it.
Yeah.
Get away.
I also noted that.
That's
That was funny.
Also,
he was caught doing something naughty.
Yeah.
He didn't want her to know.
But I
what
like
he was
that whole
doing.
thing with Worf here. I will feed him.
I wasn't playing with my
That is-
dolls again.
That is probably sufficient.
No, the cat needs love. Give it to Alexander, so Alexander can have
No,
something
he'll
to
ruin
love.
it somehow.
Like
Oh, Alexander got a mention.
He did, that's right.
He's still,
He's
still
Riker
around?
introduced him
Apparently.
to jazz.
Yeah.
Wanna
Yeah,
make the
really,
kid
do
more
you need...
insufferable?
I was
Jesus
gonna say,
Christ.
did you need to give him more things to make Worf hate him about Riker? You fucking prick. I know your relationship with your dad was a little fraught, but you really think you need to stick your nose in here? Fucking A.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me there are better episodes on the horizon.
Let's find out.
Lie to
All
me.
right. Well, let's see. What do we have coming up? Ooh.
All right.
All right. Well, next time on The Star to Steer Her By, we're going to be covering 2 new episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 7, Dark Page. Dark Page. I'm pretty sure that's a Loaxana show. I can't remember.
So, 50-50 shot.
I honestly, I don't remember. And Attached? Is that what that is?
Let me see. Yes.
Okay.
I think so. I'm reading upside down. Looks like attached.
I don't remember.
I mean, it doesn't
I don't even
look like
I don't even
Attached, but I think
remember
it
that
is.
being an episode title.
Just kidding.
Is
A
that
terrible title.
I just don't remember. So I gotta be honest. I cannot say for certain if I've seen either of these. I think I've seen Dark. If it's the one I'm thinking of, I think I've seen Dark Page. I do not know if I've seen Attached at all. So this could be interesting.
I thought you've seen all of TNG.
Yeah, I'm sort of shocked by this.
Evidently, there were some of these season 7 shows where I either never watched them or watched them so long ago
And never
that they
repeated
did
'cause they were bad.
did not make any impression upon me whatsoever.
That memory wipe did its job then.
I guess
We're watching
so.
Phantasms again.
I got Pulaski'd.
Stuffed full of crumpets?
You bet.
One can only wish.
Well, so that will be next time. We'll find out if those are good or shit next time on A Star to Steer Her By. Until then, you can find us online at Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr. And our name there is SSHB Podcast.
Oh, and surely by now, I should have said this last week. Surely by now that the blog post with our tops and bottoms from season 6 will be up.
Thank you, and don't call me Shirley.
I was thinking.
And we're also on sshbpodcast.com, and you can listen and download our podcast on Twilight.
We haven't done Twilight yet.
iTunes, Apple Tune, and Google. And on SoundCloud or any other podcast place.
Guys, what happened last week?
Last week was good.
So good, and
We haven't even listened to that yet. We don't know what. It might have been garbage.
What?
No, we know. We were there.
Oh, well, I'm saying we don't. It might have not come out well. Anyway, that's all I got. So.
His face. Oh, it's
all right.
so
Well,
It's just
whatever.
always a look of incredulity when Jake is doing the outro.
Oh, fuck you all. My name is Jake.
Screw you all. My name
I
is
was gonna
Chris.
do that one. Cunt a bitch. This is my name.
Top that.
I know. I think you broke Caitlin.
And piss off a becunted doc, I'm Caitlin.
Fuck you.
We are the best.
I'm sorry, does White Cat always eat like that?
That's Black Cat.
Is Black Cat always? Okay.
What's he doing?
He like pulls individual kibble out of the bowl and
Oh,
eats
yeah.
them off the floor instead of eating from the. This is
Dimmy
adorable.
does that sometimes, remember?
They
I
also
forgot.
have designated sides of the water bowl that they drink from.
Yeah, Black Cat drinks from the top shelf, and White Cat drinks the dregs in the bottom.
Well, that's because White Cat is a beta cuck.
No, it's because
Obviously.
White Cat is a blue collar. Like, look at him. Look how dainty this guy is.
Seriously.
He reaches in with his hand, picks up a kibble, puts it on the floor, eats it, and then reaches in and gets another one. Oh,
That's
done.
amazing. I've never noticed that.
and-
Who knew that such a ball of hate could have such a cute...
He's very cute.
He doesn't hate. He except for us. He hates us. It's everybody else he likes.
Oh no, they hate my parents too.
Yeah, they both hate
both
them.
of them
Yeah.
hate my parents. Even
Ames,
sweet
you
innocent White
kinda...
Cat.
Wow,
I'm just
I
weird.
kind of hate my parents. Don't
No,
tell them that.
No, I was just joking.
They'll never catch me alive.
Oh no.
got
What does
weird.
that mean?
Wow.
I think it means that you intend to go on the lam, and that they'll never take you alive.
All right.
It
cool.
also might mean that they're coppers, because I feel like you only say that to coppers.
Take a powder. Yeah.
You'll never take me alive, coppers. I don't know.
Let's get this shit show started.
Okay.
I should have taken a shit one between
I
recordings.
thought you did.
Too late
didn't.
now. Everybody else did, just not him.
No, I
Failed.
just peed.
Oh, right. I
You're
did.
shitting
I
now.
did. Only I shat. I'm good. All right, we ready?
Mm-hmm.